Hello everybody, my name is Gavin Simon and it is day 3 of the ARC Forum, and welcome back to the Sustainability Podcast. I'm your host Gavin and I am joined today by Sterling Allen and Ann Emberson. Today they are joining me on the Emerging Technologies and Emerging Markets for Sustainability session, a little selfless plug. We're really looking forward to it, but before we get to the session, let's just talk about Siemens and Nalco Water. Can you discuss a little bit? Firstly, actually, let's back it up a bit. Let's talk about your backgrounds. Who is Ann and who is Sterling?
Ann, go ahead.
Sure. Thanks, Gavin. So I'm Ann Emberson. I'm our Area Vice President of Digital at Nalco Water, and really focused on how we can bring digitally enabled components into our offerings for our customers so that we are achieving more results with what we have today.
And I'm Sterling Allen. I'm a business development director at Siemens, and I'm with Siemens Industry Software in our GPROMS team. GPROMS is an advanced process modeling software, and I'm based in Houston, Texas. From the time I started at Siemens about almost 4 years ago now, I was really focused on digital applications, what we can do to help our customers optimize their systems and utilize their equipment better with software solutions. So excited to be here.
Thank you. We're looking forward to today's Emerging Technology session, but during our session today, we're going to be having Ann speaking and Sterling will be on the panel, but today they bring an interesting partnership. So can you just talk to me a little bit about how that partnership came about between Siemens and Nalco?
You want me to take that in?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I was interested. I knew Nalco had this footprint that really overlapped the same customer base that I had in the energy and chemical sectors. And so, Nalco has just this massive presence in refineries and petrochemical plants. And those were a lot of the customers that I was targeting for our digital application solutions. So I reached out to Nalco, and what eventually formed was the partnership that developed the product line Climate Intelligence, which is a suite of digital applications. And our first offering to market is for utilities optimization at refineries and petrochemical plants for the steam generating and cooling water systems.
And if I can just add to that too, I think with the pace and the speed that technology continues to evolve, it was really critical to leverage the ecosystem and partner with Siemens, because what Siemens brings to the table and what Nalco brings to the table from an expertise standpoint really allows the product to have a convergence and have a lot more value to the customer versus try to do it alone. Yeah. You're missing out on that expertise that Siemens is bringing from an automation, from software capabilities, digital twin, operational space, where Nalco Water has that deep understanding of our water expertise as well as our boots on the ground service that we're providing day in and day out to our customer base.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So let's get into climate intelligence. What is climate intelligence? Can you tell me about what it helps boots on the ground and how it could improve efficiencies within the sites? And also just talk about a little bit about the digital enableization and how it could help reduce carbon emissions, because I think there's a huge role of digital transformation in sustainability.
Sure, I'll give a little bit of initial background and then I'll let Sterling kind of pile on. So climate intelligence is a process digital twin that provides operations the ability to reduce their carbon footprint. However, you're also seeing operational efficiency gains and improvement of your reliability. And so it's really almost like a trifecta win in what you're realizing and receiving. And the product itself provides the insights to the operators with the recommendation from what the digital twin produces to make those immediate actions. And so I think that's really, really important, that it's not just a digital twin for the sake of looking all bright and shiny and being the kind of the new fancy thing, but it's actually deriving insights for operational changes to improve operational efficiency as well as energy efficiency and reduction.
Yeah, I'd say climate intelligence really is the ultimate in decision-making tools for our customers, specific to these systems, right? So when our customers send their operators into the control room, they're not saying, hey, go run the most optimally efficient process you possibly can, because that's beyond the grasp of people to just be able to make that complex of decisions in real time. We can do that with our digital process twin. We feed GPROM's real plant data. We have a validated process model that's being fed real-time data. It's assessing the state of the system, and then it's optimizing for optimal efficiency and telling the operators how they need to guide the system next on their shift so that they can put the system back towards optimal efficiency. These systems, these plants, they're dynamic, changing animals, and this is something people don't really grasp onto enough, is that the plant may be running a steady state process, but it's not actually exactly steady state. I mean, things are constantly changing. Ambient conditions are changing, feedstocks are changing, there's variability in the reliability of equipment, the performance of equipment, things may be fouling. So our system is actually assessing all of that in real time and making minor tweaks and tunes to say, hey, this is how you can run the system optimally right now. And there's really big room for gains in this area from an energy efficiency and resulting CO2 reduction standpoint. So for example, we showed one customer a 250,000 barrel per day refinery, about 38,000 tons per year of CO2 reduction. So there's huge room for gains, and this is with a system that pays for itself. So that's the great thing about climate intelligence. Through the efficiency, you get these free, essentially, CO2 reductions because the system is increasing your efficiency. It pays for itself within the first few months that it's put online.
The one thing I might also add is we heard earlier this morning from the Department of Energy on that liftoff, and I think there's a lot that's being done around emissions and carbon reduction, and a lot of that's really capital intensive. And what's great about climate intelligence is, this is a digital twin that can be put to use now. Like, you can get it today, you could see results in a couple of months, which I think is a huge game changer because it's something that's available now. And then with the partnership between Nalco and Siemens, we really also kind of alleviate that implementation barrier on the necessity of plant personnel to contribute time, because we know that everyone in operations is busy all of the time. And so by having the partnership with Nalco and Siemens, we're able to really drive that implementation so that it's an easy lift from the operations standpoint to get it in now and start seeing real results in a very short order.
Yep.
So how long has climate intelligence been around, this product?
It's relatively new to the market.
Okay.
So Nalco Water initially started doing some research around what the challenge was, and I think we all know with what the target is for 2030, net zero and goal to zero, and so really it's evolved over time, but getting it into the market, we're seeing people adopt.
Have you been able to at Nalco Water? Have you been able to do it like at different sites? Like, or is it like site specific and you're just like going from one to another, or how has that process been?
So it's site specific because there has to be a level of personalization with climate intelligence, because if you think about like refineries and petrochemical plants, no two plants are the same. They all have differences and nuances. And so with Nalco Water's service capabilities that we're bringing on, helping, provide the chemistry for, their cooling towers as well as for their steam generation, and then also have the service capability. This digital twin tool, layers onto that to take it to the next level.
Officially, the partnership launched October of 22.
Okay. One more question. Is this, are you able to like model different feedstocks? Because I know that you said like, this is obviously like the facilities are dynamic and they're ever changing. So if you knew that something was going to be coming about in a few months, are you able to like plug into anything and like maybe like model the outcome like moving forward?
Absolutely. You can use climate intelligence and the underlying models for what if scenarios to look at different equipment configurations or different feedstock considerations.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely do that type of analysis with the tool.
I just think that's essential because within like obviously like sustainability like in digital transformation, they're kind of having like that handshake. They're interconnected, and I think it's like where I see like the best outcomes is being able to like model digitally like something happening physically, and so having that ability to like actually compute something without actually having to do it and being able to like see the formula like digitally, I think saves so much money, time, and effort.
Yeah, and additionally, you know, you're right on, Gavin, but additionally what we do with the model that most people don't do with their models is we're using them in real time to inform real decisions that your operators are taking now.
Yeah.
And that's how you really improve your decision making as an operator and improve your efficiency as an operator. So you can see this reduction in, you know, fuel to generate steam, for example. So I mean, that's a huge impact, and it's a big win for the environment, but it's also a big win for the operator right now. They don't have to change anything with their equipment configuration to improve their efficiency because they just are making better decisions. So.
And I would concur there, especially, you know, process modeling has been around for forever for the most part. And, you know, you can model something until you're blue in the face, but you still need to be able to reflect those real-time operating conditions, the climate, the temperature, the ambient environment. All of those components have an impact to what we're seeing. And so by being able to have this real-time modeling capability for that decision making to happen, to me that's a game changer, because, you know, you have the process, you know, conditions, you know, like how the equipment is supposed to work, but how often does the equipment work like it's supposed to work? Because there is that layer of how it's operating, what are the inputs, what are the outputs, and how do all of the different assets interact with each other.
It's kind of making me think like, you know, when you finish a project, or you finish an assignment, or you just did something at work, or maybe you just like it's the end of the workday and you're like, okay, if somebody could like mentor me and just let me know what I did wrong that day and maybe what I could do better the next day, that's kind of what I'm gathering here is like the climate intelligence products is being able to provide the provider some intel and also advice on what to do next. So
you know, most of these plants, we work in an industry that is really mature and well established. Most of these plants are decades old. Yeah. And they have staff who've been working there for years, right? So But you got to challenge these people to say, are you actually operating perfectly efficiently right now? Yeah. And the answer really is most of these companies haven't asked themselves this question, at least as it pertains to utilities and steam generating and cooling water systems. And so there is huge room for improvement in your decision making. But you can only enable that improved decision-making with the use of really modern technology and tools. You can't just ask your operators, okay, go run the process more efficiently. Right. Now we can guide them to optimally efficient set points, shift by shift. And that's really what the value of the tool is and how the tool drives value. And it's going to give your operating staff confidence in the decisions that they're taking. To say, okay, climate intelligence told me this is where I should be running, and then when they start running there and they see the results, the staff feels fantastic about it, and they understand that, you know, this is having a positive impact on the environment, it's having a positive impact on the bottom line. It makes them feel good about what they're doing at work.
This morning during the keynote presentations, we heard from somebody from Bank of America, the DOE, and money obviously is always the hot topic. So, and somebody also asked this morning about the business case value for sustainability. Sorry, we don't live in a perfect world, and I wish we did regarding sustainability, but I can't come into a room and, you know, ask for blank and blank sustainability change because it's responsible and it's great stewardship. What do you think is like the business value of sustainability?
I mean, I think there's definitely business value in sustainability. And I think we heard, the comment made that I forget which industry it was, but that they're only focused on, operational efficiency and energy efficiency. And I would argue that by achieving both of those with using a tool like climate intelligence, you're getting the sustainability benefits as well.
Right.
And so some people might look at the sustainability benefits as being a pull through. Different people are going to have different perspectives on what they are more focused on. Some people are going to look at the bottom line. How is my operations? How am I generating more revenue? Other people are going to look at, what is my, CO2 footprint? How do I improve that? How do I reduce my energy utilization? So to me, that's a good thing about the climate intelligence offering is it hits on all of these different pieces, and different people can use it differently, but you're still at the end of the day making a step change for sustainability.
Right.
It's really a have your cake and eat it too solution, because you don't just get sustainability results. I mentioned like 38,000 tons per year for a refinery, right?
Right.
That's a huge improvement. But they also get that with a system that pays for itself, because those improvements in CO2 emissions are driven by efficiency gains that are in the order of millions of dollars per year for these facilities. So the solution pays for itself and drives those solutions. And then, additionally, that makes it a fantastic first step, because it's an efficiency driven solution with your existing equipment configuration. But also, digital process twins are here to stay. These are solutions that you're going to be using into the future, even as the equipment configuration changes, or as there are major process changes to make more significant steps in CO2 reduction. So we're always going to have digital process twins, and you have the ability to start now with a tool that pays for itself.
Interesting. Well, for more on this amazing topic, we will be conducting the Emerging Technologies and Market Sustainability session later on today at the ARC Forum. I want to say thank you so much, Ann, and thank you, Sterling, for participating and giving me some time today to speak on the Sustainability Podcast.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gavin.